welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Jennifer and we will be continuing on with the wall hanging, and this is a little bit of a longer tutorial, so I really had to speed a lot of the video up, so I try really hard to not leave anything out. So right now I am working on the little toy ball, and I am putting on the red beads and sequins, and it also has like gold and like a dark green kind of stripe to it, and they alternate in color, so it's red, gold, green, red, gold, green. And I don't think this has a backing to it, so I think we're going to stuff it directly onto this particular wall hanging. So I'm just showing you my process. And for those of you that are new, I use 2 strands for beads and sequins, even though the kit calls for 1 strand. I just feel like the beads and sequins need a little bit more security, so I like to double up on my thread. It is a personal preference, so if you don't feel like doing that on your kits, that's totally fine. Okay, so I'm just grabbing the next set of sequins, which are gold, and I'm using the clear sequin or the clear beads to go with them. And when I'm going through more than 1 layer of felt, I like to go back down and come back up. So I'm just showing you that, and I'm going to show you the rest of the process, and I hope you guys learn a lot. So here we go. Okay, so I skipped ahead and finished the ball, and we have it attached, very lightly stuffed, and it looks very good. I like the way it turned out. So now we're going to work on the present part. Okay, so the present, we are working with, it's, I guess technically it's a straight stitch, but the way that I'm doing it, I go by the square. So as you can see, at every square point, I end the straight stitch. So hopefully that makes sense. The reason why I did it this way, because on the actual like picture, it kind of looks like it's stitched this way. So even though the kit said straight stitch, this could be considered like a running stitch too, but a really wide running stitch. So I'm just showing you how I'm doing it. So I'm gonna do one direction first. I'm gonna go up and down, and then I'm gonna go back and forth. So I'm gonna do the straight stitches first, and then I'm gonna go and finish the outline of the present, which is the top box and then the side. And I believe that's an outline stitch. So I'm gonna finish this off camera and then we'll move on to the next part. Okay, here I'm using 2 strands of black, and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do the outline stitch here. And this will give it some nice detail and give it dimension too, which is what I really like. So the present kind of comes out and it looks like it's 3D, and then we're gonna stuff it. So I'm just gonna finish this, show a couple stitches, and then I'm gonna finish this off camera, and then we're gonna work on the bow. like how that present turned out. I think it's super cute. Now we're gonna work on another present, and this one actually has a backing to it, which the other one in my last video didn't, so I was fairly surprised about that. So this one requires a bunch of French knots, which I'm showing you now how to do. And I think I'm using like I think it's white. I'm using 2 strands of white. And I like to go by the instructions and not modify it too much. But if you want to make them a little bit thicker, you can add more thread to it to make the French knots stand out a little bit more if you'd like. But we're gonna do the French knots, and then we're gonna add the bow onto this present. I think I'm gonna modify it a little bit. It's calling for triangle sequins, which this is it's like a light green color, and I don't really like that combination, so I'm going to change it. So we're gonna go with gold, and we're gonna go with I'm just going to grab the gold sequins. Yeah, we're going to stick with the gold and blue theme for this toy. I just feel like that's a much better combination than the green. I don't know. I like the look of it better this way, so. And then the back of the ball is blue, which I thought was interesting. So I am using gold to applique the front to the back because the front is gold. So always match your thread to the front piece of felt that will be showing in the front. And we're going to step this and then put it in Santa's bag. So I'm just going to show you real quick how I'm going to do that. Okay, this is stuffed and ready to put in here. I'm just gonna stick it in there for now. Okay, so that's where it goes. So I'm just gonna kind of push it in the corner so it doesn't really go anywhere. You can play with it if you want. Now we're going to work on the teddy bear. For some reason, something got on my lens, so I'm sorry for the weird, like, discoloration. I thought that was really funny. I didn't realize it until after I filmed it. But this is the bottom of the bear that I just put together. It's literally 2 pieces of felt with a little bit of stuffing. So I'm just looking at how the bear's face is formed, and the ears go behind the head. And there's an outline stitch on the ears. And I'm just gonna pin these on so they don't move around. And then I'll use the applique stitch to put the bear's ears on. And then I'm going to put this bear together. So let's do this. Okay, so the bear's face is done. Now notice that there is a line back here, and I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut along the line, and we're going to stick the body in the slit, and I'll show you what I mean. So let me just get this opened. Okay, there we go. And we're going to stick the body in just like this. And we're going to applique these two together. So I'm just trying to get it in position. Use a pin or 1 or 2 pins to hold it in place as you're sewing it together, because it is a little awkward. So I'm just going to get my thread ready, and we're going to put this bear together. Okay, so I'm going to start over here. And I'm going to try to hide this knot as best I can. I mean, if you don't hide it, it's fine too, because nobody's going to see it. The bear is going to be kind of hanging out of Santa's bag, so it's really no big deal if you can't hide the knot. Okay, and I'm going to keep his chin open, so I'm just going to applique the back. That way he looks like he's not like, you know, he looks like he's got a neck, if that makes any sense. Yeah, so that's what I want. I want him to look like his Neck is a little bit open. And I attached his arm. I'm just trying to figure out where to place it. And I want to place him in the right spot because for some reason there's no dotted line to show you where the arm goes. So you kind of have to do it by eye. So I put the first one on to see what it looks like, and then I attached the end of it to the bag, and now I'm going to attach the other hand to it. And I also decided to put a couple of stitches on top so that he doesn't move around so much. So he still looks like he's popping out of the bag, but I know he's secure, so he's not going to fall out or anything. I'm also going to add a couple of stitches on the bottom of his head, just so that he looks like he's all together. So I just left the chin open just to kind of position him the way I wanted him. And then once I wanted him where I needed him, then now I'm going to take some thread and I'm going to put a couple of stitches underneath his chin so that he doesn't move. And then we're going to work on, he's actually holding a lollipop, so we're going to put that lollipop together, and it's going to go underneath the paw that's not sewn down yet. So I'm just going to finish his little head here, and then we're going to start on the lollipop. stocking, but technically we're making 2. So they're little tiny stockings, and they're gonna hang on top of the fireplace. So that there's 2 places for these things to hang, and we will hang those as soon as they're done with these, and I'll show you how I'm gonna do that. So right now I'm just gonna add all of the embroidery and assemble these cute little stockings. Okay, so now we're done with the embroidery and the beads and sequins, and now we're going to add the top piece. These are all simple, so outline stitches and applique stitches. And so we're going to add the top piece, and then we're going to add the toe and the heel, and then we're going to add backings. And then these stockings actually have candy that goes inside them. So let's let me stop talking, and you can watch my process.
Pas de soleil, 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 pas de soleil,
Okay, so now that we have finished the little stocking and the candies, now we're going to add some cording. And if you don't know how to make cording, I will leave a video up in the cards above to show you how to do cording. And this cording is rather small. So right now I'm just, I'm connecting the ends of the cording together, and then we're just going to attach it towards the side here. I'm just showing you how I decided to do it. And I'm just going to do a couple of knots here so that it's nice and secure. And I'm trying to gauge how long to do the cording, and I ended up having to knot it a few times to shorten it a little bit so it wasn't too long. I would honestly rather have cording that's too long and then just put a few knots in it to shorten it than have them too short. So I wanted them to hang in the right area, so I'm just securing this, and then I'll show you how I attach this stocking to the fireplace. Okay. All right, do you see that little T right there? So that's gonna act as kind of like our tack down. And I'm just using red. And I'm gonna come up, these are straight stitches, so I'm actually, whoops, I'm gonna come up to the bottom, and then I'm gonna go up to the top, and then I'm gonna go do a knot right there. Oops. Okay, so that's how I attached the cording, and now I'm gonna do, I'm just looking to see what I use for like the actual stitch part right there. Okay, so this is white, so we're gonna do straight stitches. And we're just gonna do a T. So it looks like a T, but it's supposed to be like a little hanging thing. And there you go. So it looks like a little nail that's in the fireplace, hanging up the stockings. And we're gonna do the exact same thing with the other stocking. Okay, so there's the first stocking, and we're gonna do the second stocking now. For the second stocking, it's a little different. We're gonna do stripes on this stocking, so we're gonna do some running stitches right here, and it's a red on white color, which will be a nice contrast to the green stocking. So I'm just showing you quickly how to do a running stitch, and I use this stitch for beading too, so at least a modified version of it. Like the motion is very similar when I use close beading. So that is the running stitch, and then I'll show you the completed stocking. Okay, so here is the second stocking. I love this one. Thought it was so cute. Okay, now we're gonna add the backing to it, which is similar to the other one. Just making sure I line it up just fine. And we're going to pin it together so it doesn't move, and then we're gonna add it together. And then we're gonna attach the same way we did with the other one. Okay, so we're coming up on the final touches for this video, and I just made a third candy cane to go into Santa's hand. He's gonna be holding this candy cane as if maybe he's gonna put it in a stocking or buy a present, who knows. So I'm just taking some green thread that matches his glove, because his glove is gonna go on top. So always match the felt that goes on top. And this will be the final touch for this video. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you learned something new. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. We're going to be really close to finishing this. I think I've got a couple more tutorials to finish this. The top of this particular wall hanging is the most complicated. So once we're done with the top, the rest of it will come together rather quickly. So look forward to that. Well, I know I am. This is taking so long to put together. It's amazing, all the details, you know? Okay, so I'm actually going to tack this down. So I ended up tacking that down so it doesn't like move all over the place. So that's optional. You don't have to do that, but I decided to do that. So okay, this is what we have so far. It's looking so cute. Oh my gosh, So cute. I'm in love with that little bear. Okay, I will see you in the next video. Bye!